Hello viewers, welcome to UN Digital class. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss about knowledge acquisition and machine. Let us start. First of all, what is knowledge acquisition? Knowledge acquisition is the process of extracting, structuring and organizing knowledge from one or more sources. That means knowledge acquisition is nothing but it is a process through which we can extract and structure and organize the knowledge from different sources. Next, it is also the process of adding new knowledge to a knowledge base and refining or improving knowledge that was previously acquired. That means knowledge acquisition is also the process by which we can add the new knowledge to the knowledge base, and also we can improve the knowledge which is already stored in our knowledge base. Next, acquisition is the process of expanding the capabilities of a system or improving its performance at some specified task. Which means, here acquisition is nothing but it is the process of expanding the capabilities of a system or improving the performance of a system at a particular task. Then, it is the goal-oriented and refinement of knowledge, which means knowledge acquisition is the goal-oriented and refinement of knowledge. Then, acquired knowledge may consist of facts, rules, concepts, procedures, heuristics, formula, relationship, statistics or any other useful information. That means when we extract some knowledge from an expert domain, that knowledge contains the facts, rules, concepts, procedures and heuristics, relationship and many more informations. Then, source of this knowledge may be experts in the domain of interest or textbook or technical papers, database reports, journals and the environments. That means when we extract knowledge from an expert domain, here the source of knowledge may be the expert domain or may be any textbook or in technical papers or journals or database reports. Then the knowledge acquisition is a continuous process and it is spread over entire lifetime. That means here we know that knowledge acquisition is nothing but it is the process through which we can extract, structure and organize the knowledge from some specific domain, so that the knowledge acquisition is a continuous process and it is spread over entire lifetime. Now take the example. Example of knowledge acquisition is machine learning, and it may be process of autonomous knowledge creation or refinement through the use of computer programs. That means here the example of knowledge acquisition is the machine learning, because machine learning is the area of artificial intelligence where the machine learns from the environment by taking the information from the environment. And here it is a process of autonomous knowledge creation, which means the knowledge acquisition is nothing but it is the extraction of knowledge and it also adding the knowledge to the knowledge base, so that it is called as a process of autonomous knowledge creation or refinement through the use of computer programs. Next, the newly acquired knowledge should be integrated with existing knowledge in some meaningful way. That means when we use the knowledge acquisition for extracting the knowledge, in this case we extract the new knowledge from some expert domain and we add this new knowledge to our existing knowledge. Then the knowledge should be accurate, non-redundant, consistent and fairly complete. That means when we extract the knowledge from a specific domain, that knowledge must be accurate and non-redundant and consistent and fairly complete, so that our knowledge base can contain the accurate knowledge. When our knowledge base contains the accurate knowledge, then it gives the accurate output. Next, knowledge acquisition supports the activities like entering the knowledge and maintaining knowledge base. Here, the main aim of knowledge acquisition is to extract the knowledge from the expert domain and to store that knowledge in our knowledge base. That means the knowledge acquisition supports the activities of entering the new knowledge to the knowledge base and maintaining the knowledge base. Then, the knowledge acquisition process also sets dynamic data structure for existing knowledge to refine the knowledge base, which means the knowledge acquisition also refines the knowledge which is already present in our knowledge base. When it refines the old knowledge, it uses the dynamic data structure for the refinement of old knowledge. Next, knowledge engineer. The role of knowledge engineer is also very important with respect to development of the refinement of knowledge. That means when we use the knowledge acquisition process for extracting the knowledge from a specific domain or from an expert domain, in this case the knowledge acquisition only extract the knowledge from the expert domain, but the knowledge engineer refine that knowledge and store to the knowledge base. Next, knowledge engineer may be the professional who elicit knowledge from experts, which means here the knowledge engineer may be a professional so that it can easily refine the knowledge which is extracted by our knowledge acquisition process. And after refinement the knowledge, then the knowledge engineer store that knowledge to the knowledge base. Next, they integrate knowledge from various sources like creates and edit code, operates the various interactive tools, build the knowledge base and others. That means here the role of knowledge engineer is to extract the knowledge from the knowledge acquisition process and refine that knowledge, and it store that knowledge into the knowledge base. And when the knowledge engineer refine that knowledge, that means the knowledge engineer may edit codes, operate the various interactive tools and build the knowledge base. Now look at this figure. This figure shows how the knowledge engineer interact with the expert system. In this figure, there is one expert 1 and another one is expert 2, and the knowledge engineer gives advice to the expert 2 or it takes advice from the expert 2 during the knowledge refinement. Then next, the knowledge engineer takes the knowledge from the knowledge acquisition process, and by taking this knowledge, then the knowledge engineer performs some operation to refine that knowledge. Then the knowledge engineer edit that knowledge, and after editing that knowledge, it store in the knowledge base. After storing the knowledge in the knowledge base, then the knowledge engineer manage the encoding process. After performing the encoding, then the knowledge engineer again edit the computer knowledge base or the expert system knowledge base. After that, then the knowledge engineer validate the expert system tool. After validating the expert system tool, then that expert system is given to the client. That means when the expert system given to the client, in this case the main role of knowledge engineer is to train that client for using that expert system. That means here the knowledge engineer always train the client how to use the expert system. These are the main role of the knowledge engineer in knowledge acquisition. Next, knowledge acquisition techniques. Many techniques have been developed to deduce knowledge from an expert. They are termed as knowledge acquisition technique. These techniques are diagram based technique, matrix based technique, hierarchy generation techniques, protocol analysis techniques, protocol generation techniques and sorting techniques. These are the different techniques for knowledge acquisition. Now look at the first technique of knowledge acquisition, that is the diagram based technique. In diagram based techniques, it uses the generation and use of concept maps, event diagrams and process maps. That means in diagram based technique, the knowledge acquisition process uses the generation and use of concept maps and event diagrams and the process maps to extract the knowledge. And in this technique, it captures the features like why, when, who, how and where. By using these features, it extracts the knowledge from the expert domain. Now look at the second technique, that is the matrix based technique. The matrix based techniques involves the construction of grids indicating such things as problems encountered against possible solutions, which means the matrix based techniques basically involves for constructing the grids, and by constructing these grids it extracts the knowledge from the expert domain. Now look at the next technique, that is the hierarchy generation technique. The hierarchy generation techniques are used to build hierarchical structure like trees. That means in hierarchical generation technique, this technique is basically used for building the hierarchy like tree. Then next, protocol analysis technique. The protocol analysis technique is used to identify the type of knowledge like goals, decisions, relationship and others. That means here the protocol analysis technique is basically used to identify the type of knowledge, and here the type of knowledge may be the goal, decision or relationship or any other. Next one is the protocol generation technique. The protocol generation technique include various types of interviews like structured, semi-structured and unstructured interview. Here the most common knowledge acquisition technique is face-to-face interview. In interview, it is a very important technique which must be planned carefully, because in interview technique or by using the interview technique, we can easily extract the knowledge from an expert, and that expert must be a human expert. Next, the result of an interview must be verified and validated. Some common variation of an unstructured interview are talk through, teach through and read through. Next, the knowledge engineer slowly learns about the problem, which means when the knowledge engineer takes the interview for acquiring the knowledge or for extracting the knowledge, in this case the knowledge engineer slowly understands the problem. Then they can build a representation of the knowledge. That means when the knowledge engineer extracts the knowledge from the expert system by interview, then the knowledge engineer understands the actual problem. After understanding the actual problem, then the knowledge engineer builds a representation of the knowledge. Next, in unstructured interview seldom provides complete or well organized description of cognitive process because the domains are generally complex. Then the experts usually find it very difficult to express some more important knowledge, which means during the interview the experts may find difficult to explaining some important part of knowledge. Then data acquired are often unrelated, exist at varying levels of complexity and are difficult for the knowledge engineer to review, interpret and integrate. That means when the knowledge engineer gathers the knowledge from the expert system or from the expert source, then after gathering the knowledge engineer finds a problem to review, interpret and integrate that data or that knowledge because of the various level of complexity. But on the other hand, structured interviews are systematic goal-oriented process, which means in unstructured interview, the knowledge engineer face some problem because of the different level of complexity. But in structured interview, it is a goal-oriented interview, so that it forces an organized communication between the knowledge engineer and the expert system. That means the structured interview which forces for organized communication between the knowledge engineer and the expert during the interview. In structured interview, the personal communication and the analytical skills are very important. This is all about the knowledge acquisition process and the different techniques which are used for knowledge acquisition. Next, MySIN. MySIN, an early expert system or artificial intelligence program for treating blood infection. That means here MySIN is one of the example of the expert system. And we know that expert system is nothing but it is a program. For this reason, MySIN is called as an artificial intelligence program which is basically used for treating the blood infection. In 1972, work began on MySIN at Stanford University in California. And MySIN would attempt to diagnose patients based on reported symptoms and medical test results. That means here the MySIN expert system works based on the diagnosis and the symptoms of the patient. Then it gives the result. The program could request further information concerning the patient as well as suggest additional laboratory tests to arrive at a probable diagnosis, after which it would recommend a course of treatment. That means here the MySIN expert system first requests the patient to give the symptoms. Then after taking the symptoms and diagnosis of the patient, then the MySIN suggests for the diagnosis or suggest for the medicine. If requested, MySIN would explain the reason that lead to its diagnosis and recommendation, which means based upon the request, the MySIN expert system explains the reasoning of the diagnosis or reasoning of the disease. After that, it recommended. Next, using about 500 production rules, MySIN operated at roughly the same level of competence as human specialist in blood infection and rather better than general practitioner. That means MySIN is developed by using 500 production rules. And by using all these production rules, the MySIN works at the same level of the human expert for detecting the blood infection and suggesting the antibodies. This is all about the MySIN. Here you must remember that MySIN is nothing but it is one of the expert system and which is basically used for detecting the blood infection, and it also suggests the antibodies for that blood infection. If you have any doubt regarding the knowledge acquisition or MySIN, then you can write through comment. I will discuss about your doubt. Thank you for watching.